Episode number 4. We made it, boys. I read somewhere that 1% of all podcasts make it past episode 3, and then 1% of the 1% make it past 20 or 21. So we top 1% right now. Mere fact that I pressed the button. I had nothing to talk about. I had no idea what to talk about, but I think I settled on something very near and dear to my heart. And I shouldn't have any problem riffing about this one. This one's it's pretty easy. But today is what, October the 20th. It is 10:58, 11 o'clock. Welcome back to the show. I named it The Fall of the Republic. Sign of the times, baby. Here we are. Watching the world crumble. Together, at least, I guess. You know, sometimes I think about what must it have been like in the fall of the Republic. The Roman Republic. What we're based off of. You know, how that shit show went down. I don't know, history's full of civilizations that rise and fall, and we had a pretty good go, but we let the enemy take over. I have this debate sometimes with randos or friends. When did it begin? When, if you had to say, when did the 1791 America fall? And you'll get all kinds of answers. You'll get Kennedy got murdered. You'll get the War Powers Act. You'll get 9/11. After World War II, you just get a whole bunch. Everyone has their kind of opinion on where and when it all happened. Me, I'm a Texas boy. I'm from the South. The fall of the Republic happened during the first Civil War. Ida's leaving. Ida. Yeah, she's like, this shit's getting way too heavy over here, Dad. Talking about civil wars. I get all riled up. Get my coyote instinct comes out. I just want to go bite some red coats and some blue coats. I hate all the enemies and all the coats in which they wear. If it's not gray, she don't fuck with it. She only fucks with the South. Right, Kita? Good girl? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the show. I'll have different answers. But me, personally, I believe, you know, obviously the first Civil War. There was never... Okay, so as a Southerner, we were reconstructed. We were conquered people, and then they sent the armies of the North down south to reconstruct us. Now, do you think that ever stopped? Think it ever stopped? Go down south. Go down south and tell me the cops down south don't just fucking hate you, because you're a conquered people still. Let's not get it twisted. The enemy is still in control. I would say that the fall of the Republic really started during the Civil War, when the South should have been allowed to succeed. According to back in the day, you can imagine that like each state was its own country. Just like the European Union. I think it's a good example, okay? The original states were like the countries of Europe today who joined the EU. Now, let's say Brexit, right? When Britain decided to leave the EU. Were they allowed to? Imagine when they tried to leave the other NATO, imagine the other countries invading and forcing them back in. That's basically what happened. They had the votes, they had the enough states to succeed. And I believe it was Maryland. Was going to be like the last one that they needed to be able to legally do it. But the northern tyrants decided that they were just going to lock up the governor, so he couldn't sign it. And the boys were like, fuck you, we dip it anyways. Through hard fought battles, lots of patriot blood that was spilled. You know, whether or not you think it was because of slavery or high taxes or industrialization or whatever. 500,750,000, a lot of fucking American men believed in something enough to kill each other over. And that's, you know, I would say that the beginning of everything that's happening today is a direct result of that. Now you can trace it continuing forward when they whittled away little bits here and there, added amendments, government organizations, completely unconstitutional, but they own everything. They own the courts, they own the enforcement officers, they own all the money, all the property. They own you. You have a birth certificate and a social security card. You are property. And that's why you pay taxes like a good slave. Because if you don't, they'll send their thugs and they will shoot your dog and you. And this is the reality of a conquered people. To think anything else, like, I had a chick, why don't you celebrate 4th of July? You're all about America, bitch. It makes me sad. The 4th of July makes me sad. All right, what's up? Killer Kyle, what's up, bro? 4th of July makes me sad. I do not enjoy celebrating what once was and my birthright. The promise that I was raised to believe I was supposed to have. Wait, we gonna celebrate that? We're gonna shoot fucking fireworks in the air, get drunk. Yeah, right. So we don't celebrate the 4th of July. I love America, but celebrating dumb shit like that doesn't make any sense to me. You can follow it down the line of whenever you might think the fall is. But I think we all agree that this is a downward spiral into the abyss of hell. We're all going to die in the street like dogs. I like the dudes who are like, I'm going to make it. You know, I'm going to buy food and shit. Bro, I played DayZ. Okay? Everybody's kill on sight. No one's like, we not making it. Like, you're not gonna make it. Your child might, maybe. But and people have a misunderstanding of what it's gonna look like. You know, everyone has an idea that it's gonna be like the collapse or nuclear war or shit like that. No, that's not how it's gonna go down. It's gonna be a slow, incremental destruction. Everyone's gonna be forced into these mega cities. They're going to cordon those off, and anyone outside of those cities will be hunted and killed like the dogs that they are. And the people inside the cities will, you know, happily pay their taxes, go to their job. I don't think it's going to be nuclear fire that takes us out. Because they built this infrastructure. Right, they have everything in place. They just don't want us here, the slaves. They can replace us with robots. They can replace us. They don't need us no more, right? The useless mouths can be taken out the game. So the best way to do that is not through nuclear fire. It's through a chemical attack. It's a chemical weapon. That's why y'all should all be scared shitless about COVID. Because that was a trial run. That was the test. And we didn't do too well. I would say that, what, 3 years, and people eventually did some non-compliance. I remember they were passing out those little fucking COVID cards. You couldn't go to work without a little COVID card. Yeah, fucking right. Get out of my face. No, I don't think it's going to be nuclear fire. It's going to be a chemical weapon. And I was arguing with a homie once. It's like, look, dude, I don't want to be apathetic, but even if, you know, we took it as far as possible. We're not going to say what that is. I'm not trying to get murdered. But we took it as far as possible. We've chased down the enemy to the front gates of their fallout shelters. Okay? They all have underground bases. Now, I've seen some crazy stories about how big some of these bases and how they interconnect through underground tunnels, and I mean, it goes deep. They would just lock the door, release some bioweapon, kill off 99.9% of us, release the fucking dogs of hell to kill off the remaining 0.1, and then come out and rebuild a civilization with all of us gone and have the workforce as the robots. That's the plan. Like, that's like, even if you took it all the way, right? That's why we have to pray to God it doesn't turn into a hot war, because, like, yeah, you think the upper echelon is gonna be on the front line fighting? No. What? You're not gonna have this is an old system. It's not a human mind that is controlling this. This is a spirit of evil that works through these people. Some are willing, some are unwilling. I mean, some are conscious about it. Some are just grab out money, people make other people, they won't wipe us out. Maybe. Like I said, we all have an opinion on how they're gonna play it. But yeah, they're gonna suck us dry for a long time. It's working so far. When people say, oh, it's about to happen, or, you know, oh, no, man, they're just gonna siphon it off until the end. Like, everything's going according to plan. Everyone's following in line, everyone's paying their taxes, the dollar isn't worth shit. They can start whatever fucking war they want. They can bring up false charges on presidents and ex-presidents and whatever. They have their corporate media machine just spitting out propaganda. Like, bro, this is autopilot now. We're just gonna press enter and watch it go. I don't think it's gonna happen like that, right? There will be... Ooh, I don't want to go too deep in this because I really don't want to get murdered tonight. But there would be hit teams, or it would be, you know, cells. Different factions just doing hits on people. That's how I think it would happen. It would be status quo. Be as is, everyone's going to their jobs. But then there would be, you know, ex-army, ex-military. Those dudes are their main threat, right? The dudes who get out of the military and decide not to kill themselves and didn't end up homeless and on drugs. Those are the real threat to these people. Because at one point in time, you know, they were willing to die for, quote unquote, their country and what it stood for. And then these motherfuckers get out and realize they were the bad guys. Like, I couldn't imagine putting in work, you know, let's say 10 years, getting out. Yeah, you get your disability check, you get all your dumb shit, but lawmakers fund gov and the EPA hold it the fuck off. Maybe we'll get to that. These cats come back, and if they're not completely defeated, you know, they turn into like the highest threats. That's why they don't get VA benefits. I got a homie who's, you know, got cancer, old vet, and because I don't think he falls in line like into the, you know, the status quo, he doesn't get like the VA fucks him around, come back in a week. I mean, I guess it's just the shitty healthcare system in America, which is another example. Like the government has subsidized every aspect, where everything is inflated, and the agenda is to make it where the peasants, the plebs, have an extreme difficult time of surviving. When I was a young man, let's start at 18. I was 18 and Obama was running for office. What is that, 2007, 2008? Obama's running for office. And I was a pro-Obama kid, right? Hippie kid. I think I was that asshole who had like vote for peace, vote for Obama on the back of like my car and like that white shit you could buy. Young, dumb, thought I knew the shit about the world. I don't remember exactly how it led to what it led to, but one night, I think I'm coming down off drugs. Whether it was Molly or Coke or whatever it was. It was something, it was an upper, and it's late, and your boy's wired. Like my brain's going, my body's tired, so I'm sitting at my house, I'm watching YouTube videos, or early YouTube videos. And Moral Technique comes on. I'm like, damn, that shit fire. Moral Technique, fire. And then it led to a different artist named Paris, which was like a hip hop guy, kind of in the same vein as Immortal Technique. And like I said, pro Obama, very hippy dippy. This is a different time period, right? So we just had Bush for fucking 8 years, right? I mean, this was a different world. The left and the right. You know, Trump wasn't even, there was no third choice. And you can say what you will about Trump. You can say that he's an anti-gun. You can say he's a little mini tyrant. Whatever, man. All I know is that all of the enemy hates this dude. Everybody who I would consider the enemy of free humanity has their guns pointed at him. So, I mean, shit. For that alone, he gets my vote. If there was a better choice, would I vote for him? Yes, of course. But between Hillary Clinton and Trump, I mean, not even an option. Trump. This was 2007, right? So, you know, you realize that 9/11 is an inside job. And you take that rabbit hole, right? Immortal Technique had some video back in the day. And it was like, 9/11's an inside job kind of video. And then it turns into, okay, you find Alex Jones, and you're like, damn. And you watch all his little documentaries. This is like 2007, 2008. And then you're like, holy shit. Once you realize that they perpetrated 9/11, what kind of coward do you have to be to like close your eyes and pretend like that didn't happen? And it's okay to be ignorant, but like, let me show you, like, the information's all there. You still don't think 9/11's, if you think 9/11 was orchestrated by like a couple packies, made NORAD stand down, let's get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. So as a young man, you learn all this shit, right? I went from Obama to like, holy shit, what is happening? My entire reality was in question. So you take the rabbit holes, right? You obviously go down the Bohemian Grove, Alex Jones sneaking in, getting footage of them worshiping old gods and doing mock sacrifices in their little hooded robes, and you know, we were like, the fuck? What? And then you take the rabbit, even you follow him even further. Start learning about, you know, the secret societies and the Freemasons and the Knights of Malta and the Brotherhood of the Snake and the Rosicrucians. You start like, the fuck? And as a young man, you don't know what the fuck's happening, right? I remember being outside. This is what really started it. This is my journey, right? This is my journey into awakening. I was arrested when I was like 18. And like I said, I was fresh. I was fresh into all this. And I was young and passionate. Anyways, I'm outside smoking a cigarette with like one of my homegirls. I got my dog, he's passed away now, but little red-nosed pit. His name was Mr. Bojangles. He's outside hanging out with me. And a post office guy, my dog's super friendly. Super friendly. And he's sitting right next to me, and the guy, the post office guy, walks past us. My dog, you know, stands up and starts, you know, walking, not running, not vicious, walks over to the post office guy, and the black post office fucking dude takes his little postal bag and starts hitting my dog with it. I went to go to war with this fucking dude, and things got de-escalated, and I was like, you know what? Just gonna go to the post office and make a complaint about this dude who hit my dog. I get to the post office. On the way to the post office, I find this random dog. I found another random dog roaming the streets. It's like, it's Dallas, DFW, it's Texas. It wasn't Dallas, it was I don't remember the town. Damn, I don't remember the town. Anyways, go to the post office. I got this dog in my car. I'm just gonna go inside. Gonna go inside, ask to talk to a supervisor, make a complaint about the dude hitting my dog. I get in, and the obviously the black lady, overweight black lady, you get the fuck out of here. Okay. Well, I'm not leaving until I talk to a supervisor. Well, we're calling the cops and da-da-da. Okay, we'll call the cops. That's fine. Maybe they'll take my complaint. Because at this point, I don't know, right? At this point, I don't know everything yet. I'm still young. I know they did 9/11, but like, everybody can't be bad guys, right? Cops aren't bad guys, right? They're there to help. They're not bad guys. I've never really had bad interactions with them. They show up, boom, face against the wall, hands behind the back, failure to ID, resisting arrest. Oh my god. And I'm talking to the young buck who's like 20. I'm like, bro, you know, why are y'all arresting me right now? Oh, you know, you didn't give us an ID when we asked it for you. And I was like, well, one, I didn't do anything. So why would you need my ID? Well, when, you know, an officer gives you an order, you have to do it. And then I'm thinking in my head through all little rabbit holes I went down. I'm like, bro, like, what if you told me to get naked and run around the street? Like, am I supposed to comply to that? He was like, no, because that's, you know, that's an unreasonable order. And I was like, so who decides what a reasonable order is? I was like, we'll have to take that up to the courts. But until then, I decide. Like, hey, yeah, let me teach you, young buck. I was like, because he seemed interested. But like I said, I was just young. And he might have been interested. And who knows? Maybe I spoke into his ear and changed his life. Who knows? But I'm talking to this young buck and I'm like, look, dude, you know, like, you're not supposed to be doing this. Like, this is not against the law. Da, 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 da. I speak my truth to this one officer while he's booking me in. Took me to jail and everything. Booking me in. And I had like $190 in my pocket, cash. And lo and behold, guess how much the ticket was? The exact amount that was in my wallet. The exact amount. And I was like, yeah, man, that's a coincidence. I guess, yeah, just take all my money. It's fine. Here you go. I couldn't stay there and do, because it was like happened on a Friday and I wouldn't get out until a Monday because I couldn't see the judge until Monday. And there was that dog in my car still. And this is Texas summer. I'm like, this dog is gonna fucking die. And they kept asking me, which car is yours? Which car is yours? I walked here because they wanted to tow my shit. You know, down south, bro, they'll tow your shit, dude. They'll do it all. They'll do it all. They'll destroy your life. Good luck figuring it out. Don't matter. Okay, so I pay the ticket, get my car, go back home. Whatever. Later that night. Okay, later that night. Girl comes home. And I'm selling weed at the time. And there's a knock on like my door. And I'm like, the fuck? No one hit me up. No one texted my phone. No one should be just coming to my house just willy-nilly. I give up. What? So I walk out the back and circle around. Because I didn't know who, you know. I don't know what's happening. Back then, I always thought I was either going to get raided or robbed, right? So, go out the back. See the cop cars. Like, the fuck? I go outside and it's a sheriff and a normie cop, like a police officer. So there's a sheriff, a normie cop, and then two other black cars behind them. Very governmenty cars. Very governmenty cars. Oh God. And I'm talking with the guy and he's like, hey man, you know, we had a visit from Homeland Security about some of the stuff you were saying. I was like, what? Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean the stuff I was saying? I was telling the young officer guy that like this is illegal, unconstitutional. You know. What do you mean Homeland Security? And he's like, yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you how this is gonna go. Like, yeah? What's up? He's like, how long until you can leave? I was like, what do you mean leave? He's like, how long until you can leave the city? Preferably the county. I was like, well, I don't know. Like, my lease is up here in a couple months, but I was just gonna renew it. He's like, let me give you some advice. Don't renew it. It's like, why? And he's like, look, man, I don't like having phone calls from Homeland Security telling me what I need to do. And as you can see, and he looks back at the other cars, the black ones, and he's like, they kind of told me that I need to come here and talk to you. And they didn't really tell me what I need to talk to you about, but let me make it clear. If you don't leave, your life's going to get difficult. I was like, okay, bro, no. I get it, man. Like, I get it, bro. I'm not trying to have a difficult life. I'm not trying to make your life difficult. Just need some time, figure it out. I'll be out of here. Hewland. Was it Hewland? No, it was, First, no. Some little fucking piece of shit city next to Fort Worth with an H. Haltom City. Haltom fucking City cops. Pieces of shit. Fuck you, Haltom City cops. So I left Haltom City and went to Fort Worth. right? Went to Fort Worth, and you know, life was okay, no big deals. But I kept getting pulled over. Like I don't know, in 1 year I got pulled over like a dozen times. And I was talking to my sister about it, and she's like, "Yeah, I've never been pulled over." I was like, "Damn, yeah, I just like they'll get me on, you know, just make shit up. They just make shit up." And I just always paid a ticket because, like, what are you gonna do? Like, what? Do you think the judge is gonna be on your side? These judges are corrupt as the fucking judges, or as the cops. I always just paid the fucking fine. It was always like $100, $200, whatever. Paid the fine. And I got tired of it, and eventually, you know, left the state altogether, and decided that I was just gonna hide out in the mountains and wait until everyone starts killing each other. And the problem is it? I guess it's not a problem. I just thought we were gonna kill each other before now. I thought we were all gonna die in the street like dogs. Like maybe 2015, 2016, but Trump came in, gave us a little bit more time, and gave us a lot of, like, I don't know. I got the Gadsden flag tattoo and the "Come and Take It" tattoo. Gonzalez and the Gadsden. When I was like 19, 20. And the reason why I got these, because I was invited to join a organization, militia, but it's the unorganized militia of Texas called the Sons of the Republic of Texas. And the way that kind of all started was, I told my girl's boyfriend at the time, she was like 20, 21, my sister was like 20, 21, and the dude she was dating was like 30, 33. He was older. I used to give a shit about it. But he was a son of the Republic. And kind of told him what was happening with the cops and everything that happened and how I have to move. And he was like, "Look, man, you should come with us one day." I was like, what do you mean come with us? And he gave me like a little piece of paper, some shit. And that led down, you know, rabbit holes. And I never wanted to join, like, quote unquote, like the 3%ers or any of those militia, like the Michigan militia. Like, I would never say that I was part of the Sons of the Republic of Texas. I was acquainted with some members who were, because the thing is, I learned through all my research during the time, is you don't want to be associated in big groups, because obviously you talk about like Oklahoma City, the Michigan militia boys. Even though, I mean, if you believe that Timothy McVeigh acted alone and he was just a guy, like, you're stupid. That was perpetrated by the government. That's a hard target. An outside explosive would never do, a fertilizer would never do the damage. I mean, look up that rabbit hole. Take the Oklahoma City bombing rabbit hole and tell me that one fucking dude did it. But let's just say that you agree that it was one asshole and he was part of the Michigan militia. They all got arrested. Just by, you're guilty by association. So I never really joined any of these like little organizations that prepare for civil unrest or whatever you want to call it. The zombie apocalypse. We'll call it the zombie apocalypse. I feel like I won't get raided and killed if we call it the zombie apocalypse. I never joined any of these groups because I didn't want to be stigmatized to a label. and just be and the feds are all infiltrated into every organization, period. They've all got their little traitor legions implanted, doing false flags, whispering sweet nothings into certain people's ears, convincing certain people to do certain things they shouldn't, planting shit on people. No, I'll pass. Thank you. I always decided that, I was going to find a group of, homies, friends that I could vet that I knew weren't feds. And build like a little, shit is the fan. We rendezvous here. We have a plan. So on and so forth. But you don't want like the big organizations. But I did think back in the day we were all going to kill each other way before now. Trump gave us a little bit of leeway. But we are in the middle of a full-blown civil war right now. So when I think about, there was a song that Paris did that this entire journey is me coming down off Molly or some shit and playing some song, and then some random song comes on, and it was "What Would You Do" by Paris. And it's like, what would you do if you knew all the things we knew? Would you stand up for truth, or would you turn and walk away too? A lot of great men have given their lives in this battle to get information to us. Characters have been destroyed, families destroyed, empires. Great men have attempted to slow this progress down, but we're full steam ahead. I like the people who think they're just gonna wait it out. Like, I'm gonna go in the woods and I'm just gonna wait it out. Bro, what? Some satellite fucking gonna pick you up on infrared, and then their drone is gonna fly by and take you out. You just all alone out there in the woods. They don't gotta explain nothing to nobody. You're not just gonna wait it out. Like, we're gonna wait out 15 years, 10 years. Imagine a 7 to 10 year civil war. At least. I mean, Ukraine has been at civil war levels since when did that happen? 2014? Yeah, 2013, 2014. They still at war. I mean, they got like buddies now. It used to just be the West killing anybody who didn't agree with the fascist overthrow of Ukraine, full-blown Nazi overthrow of Ukraine, funded, perpetrated, organized by non-government organizations. Yeah, right. Now there's a new war. We just in what, 32 trillion dollars in debt, and we starting wars, and people can't afford to eat, people can't afford their bills. They don't care, they hate you. But don't you want, like, you keep asking these people to like stop, and they hate you. They do insider trading, they get super rich and you get poor. They're destroying the middle class right now. Middle class is dying. What's funny about it is I've been a peasant my entire life, so like this shit's all just autopilot to me. Like I set myself up pretty good for this moment. You locked in, baby. But some of these people who were in the middle class thought they had a secured future. They fucking hurting right now. They didn't see it coming. we in the middle right now of the Second American Civil War. And I'm not for a revolution. When people talk about, oh, we need another revolution, man. Yeah, I don't need a fucking revolution. I already have, like, my document is already established. It's called the Constitution. I want a restoration of constitutional values, constitutional Republican, not Republican like in the sense of what the Republicans are, like, that's not what I'm talking about. That constitutional form of government without all the by-the-ways. And I don't need a revolution for that to happen. All we gotta do is like get together and say no more. We hold public trials and people who are found guilty for high treason, which there are plenty of examples of people who commit high treason every fucking day in this country. We have public trials and we start fucking hanging them real high. If you're found guilty by a jury of your peers, sorry. I'm not gonna put any names out there because I don't want to, whatever, but sorry. There will be, that day might come. Whether or not, like I said, there are certain states that break away. You think the government would allow them to regulate? Let me break this down to you. Back in the day, Texas, my home state, tried to ban the TSA from their airports in Texas. The governor, it was, sorry TSA, we don't want you here in Texas. We don't like you groping our wives and our daughters. You're not allowed here. Sorry. The federal government was like, bro, we'll shoot down every plane that lifts off the ground. We will implement a no-fly zone over Texas and shoot down all of your airplanes that fly. Excuse you? What'd you just say? So it was a while ago. That was a decade ago when that happened. Couldn't shoot down the fucking airplanes that were hijacked on 9/11, but you know what? You'll shoot down Texas airlines that don't want to be groped by your federal thugs. Got it. I understand. I get it. I see the game. I see the rules. No big deal. Yes, you have conquered us, and it is what it is. But the federal government technically has no power outside of Washington, D.C., military bases, territories. Like, your states are technically individual countries. Nothing like... The enemy has taken over. And they have proven time and time again that they have no problem killing you, your family, your dog, everyone you love. Shit, they burnt down the Branch Davidians, burnt them to a crisp. Take the journey of the Branch Davidians in Waco, Texas. You know, I used to live in Waxahachie, Maypearl, all the DFW Metroplex. I've been to Waco many times. Now, I went to Waco when I was young, and I didn't know about all this, but you know, you take the journey. There's just countless examples that they will kill you and nobody will care. Nobody will care. I mean, they'll go to the wrong house, kill the guy who's like, someone's breaking in my house, I need to grab my gun. They'll murder that guy. And qualified immunity, baby. Shit, we above the law. We get to kill you, everyone you love, and nothing happens. Sorry. We in a civil war right now. And some people realize it. The black community realizes it. Because they have been targeted by a system that wants to use them as slave labor in the prison systems. I mean, shit, they all go to prison. 1 out of 3 end up in prison before the age of 20. Some shit like that. They have no fathers in the household to teach them different because it's been going on for so long and they've all been in jail for so long. And it's just a perpetuated cycle. So these motherfuckers are wiling out. Wiling out. And I get it. Like, I get it. Like, why should you go to the store and buy shit? They're robbing us fucking blind. Like, I'm against looting. I guess I'm against rioting. I'm against, like, doing that shit. But I understand that you have no respect for this system. Because this system is designed to enslave us, suck us dry, and then kill us. And when people don't have anything left to lose, they lose it. So, like, yeah, I'm against it. But, like, it's to be expected. Like, what, are you confused? Like, so the fall of the American Republic, I would say, happened during the first Civil War. I think we're in the early stages of a second Civil War. And whether or not, you know, we have another election in 2024, who knows? They don't want to lose. And I don't think Trump is the answer, but I do think Trump, like back in the day when I got this was a swastika on my fucking arm. This is Homeland Security visit, domestic terrorist level. Like, I still remember the MIAC Homeland Security report. Look up MIAC Homeland Security report, where it breaks down the different symbols of new American extremists. Gadsden flag is one of them. Having any attachment to your forefathers who told you not to let tyrants rule over you, that's the threat. There's some fucking video from back in the day where a Fed's teaching them. It's like, yeah, George Washington and Thomas Jefferson, they were all terrorists. They were all terrorists. Yeah. It's like, what? What? And they're teaching some like fired, you know, it's an old video. There's plenty of examples. To deny that we are in the middle of a historical event in humankind is straight stupid. If you're just going to your job and you think that your life, like, you have a fucking future, like, dude, every day I wake up and like I'm alive. It's like, cool, time to work out, time to eat, time to make a little bit more money. I need to buy some more ammo. I need this, I need that, you know, whatever. Like, yeah, it would be cool to make it to 50. Dude, I was super surprised to make it to 30. Never saw it happen. Never saw it coming. Like, I didn't think that we as the American people would allow it to get this far. I thought we would, I don't know, everyone's gonna have a line in the sand. Every man is gonna find a line in the sand, whatever that is. Every man will find that for himself. And most men will cower, but there will be a small percentage. There's a reason why they call that militia the 3%ers, right? Because they say like 5% total did anything at all during the first American Revolution. 5% of the American population at the time did anything at all during the first American Revolution. That's from creating guns to supplying ammo to clothing, first aid, you know, all that, anything to do with it. 5% of the population. Now, of that 5%, about 3% actually were boots on the ground, pulling triggers, willing to die for the cause. So about 3% of, you know, warrior bees and 2% of like support bees. And that's why, you know, that militia calls itself the 3%ers, right? Because they believe that they will stand at a time when they are needed. I've had a couple 3%ers try to recruit me to the squad, and it's like, sorry, Fed boy. Sorry, Fed boy. And they were super nice people, and they probably weren't feds. I met their little leader and met the founder's daughter, and like, okay. We talked, we had some opinions, riffed. Okay, cool. Invited me to do some training drills with them in like Montana or Utah or some shit. Patrol the border, and it's like, no, man, like, I don't need no, I don't, like, I see where you're coming from, and I can get down with it, but unless you vetted every motherfucker, like, you've known this motherfucker since high school, and even then, they'll pick up a homie on some charge, just like Randy Weaver, right? Just like Ruby Rich. Hey, man, we got you on this, and we'll let you go, but you're gonna spy for us. And most people fold when they're facing 15 to 20. And there's a reason why they throw out those crazy numbers. 15 to 20. Who I gotta snitch on? 15 to 20? Who I gotta snitch on? Most people do it. There's a couple who won't. And the problem is these motherfuckers don't know when you decide to flip and be that person for them, they own you forever, and they'll kill you when they're done with you. So it's best not to. That's why I support Randy Weaver, and Randy Weaver is an American patriot. But I will say, I do not support that Mr. Randy Weaver gave up. Let me explain what would have happened if I was Mr. Randy Weaver and everything would have happened the way it went down. Let me break it down to you real quick. Okay, so I have my gun. I'm selling it. This guy's a Fed. He catches you. Cool. Hey, we're gonna offer you this time period, but even if not, you go back to your boys spying them for you. I'd probably do the same thing. Oh yeah, man, no problem. No problem. I'll do that for you. Take my family, nip out to the woods. Okay. Now 400 or 500 little mini tyrants come in, jackbooted thugs come in. They kill his son, they kill his dog, they shoot him, they shoot the homie, they kill his wife. Okay, he's arrested, he gives up. After all that, you should have just died. You should have just killed, you should have died. But okay, you gave up. Okay, you just killed your entire family, but then you give up. Okay. He's found not guilty, you know, he's acquitted. He's even paid like $1 million. He's paid like $1 million for that moment. Because it was hella illegal. What? Give him money, and he just kind of drifts into the wilderness, you know, drifts away. Okay, if that was me, I would have taken that $1 million and then shit would have, my line right there. What are you gonna do? They just killed your entire family, your son, your wife. What the fuck, bro? You just gonna take the money and run? Yeah, right. No, we taking that money and I'm gonna take that money. I'm gonna install a sprinkler system. Talking about the fall of the Republic, my guy. Talking about Randy Weaver and the $1 million that he was given, and how he took that money and just lived the rest of his life in obscurity, even though they killed his family, dog, you know, his wife, shot her in the fucking head. Okay. Should have taken that money, should have trained some wildlife expert to train all the squirrels, raccoons, beavers, wolves to attack anything with a badge. That's probably your first 100K, okay? Second 100K is a compound, a fortress that can withstand drone strikes, napalm strikes. You're spending that money correctly. Because I couldn't imagine losing everything. Like during COVID, my homie lost his mom to COVID. And I know that's a government that was released by the enemy for what, you know, for reasons. I mean, it's not what this is about, but it was an operation. And if my mom died to the enemy's battle plan and their chemical warfare attack, bro, that probably would have popped off for me. Shit would have popped off right then. Because, like, what? Like, they killed your mother and you're just gonna... What? What, just... Oh, sorry, mom's dead. Like, no, the enemy literally just murdered your family. I mean, why do you go to your job anymore? Why aren't you in the woods doing combat drills every fucking day? So, Randy Weaver, they hit Randy Weaver, they hit the Branch Davidians. I mean, there was that little standoff that happened at the national park, the BLM standoff, back in the day, where, bro, I thought shit was going to pop off right then. I thought the Civil War was going to start right then, during that Bundy Ranch standoff with the BLM and the... I just saw like 50 cows, like... That footage was wild, and they stood down. They backed away. They don't want that smoke. They just want to do a slow, incremental, pick us off one at a time. It was ages ago. Pick us off one at a time, so we never band together, right? And I was thinking about this and talking about this with my homie, and it's like, we don't have any leaders. That's the main problem. Is they just kill all of our leaders. Anyone who starts to poke their head to be a leader, cut it off. Demonize, destroy their public image. Once that doesn't work, they try to lock you up. If that doesn't work, they just murder you. You just don't have leaders to unify us. And Trump is, you know, like, okay, Trump's okay. Okay, Trump's okay. Like I said, the entire enemy has their cannons pointed at him right now, and have had it pointed at him since 2015. So if all the enemy thinks as him as a threat, it's because he's a leader that can unify us. Now, is he Alexander the fucking Great? Is he Julius fucking Caesar? Is he Charlemagne? No. Okay. But it's not the leader we wanted, but it's maybe the leader we needed, right? So the only, like, this is a heavy topic, but let's say they find him guilty on all this shit, right? They took his mugshot, they got him. I haven't really watched too much news, but I know they took the mugshot of him. I knew they had like all these felonies they were trying to charge him against. Do I think any of us would band together? Like, bro, they had the National Guard out, like 30,000, 15,000 of them during Biden's inauguration. Bro, they took over. What? Full-blown military martial law during a presidential inauguration. That shit was wild. Let's say Trump is like, okay, they convicted me on everything. They're taking me to the White House lawn and they're going to execute me in the middle of everyone. Okay, let's say that happens. The only way that this country could be saved and to unify all factions of the Patriot movement is someone like Donald Trump would have, you know, right before he's being executed, guillotined up, tied, about to be hung high. You know, me as, you know, the president of, you know, hereby authorize all militia members to, you know, put in work, whatever that may mean. I don't know. Don't come kill me. I'm not the one saying it. I have no power. Don't come kill me. But let's say that's the only way that we would all unify. There would have to be a leader that unifies us. Problem is I don't think Trump's that guy. That to be able to unify us. Now, what's real nice is back in the day when I did get all these tattoos for America, and I was looked at, and jobs looked at you crazy, like having a swastika on your fucking forehead. Since the Trumper movement, I got some allies. People, man, Gadsden flag, oh, cool. Okay, people are more aware of it nowadays. Trump definitely made everybody pick a side. In 2016, everyone picked a fucking side. You're either full-blown commie revolutionary or you were an American patriot. Now, there's lots of different categories in between all that, but everyone picked a fucking side. And that's nice, because it's like you got some allies, and it's nice to have some allies. Because back in the day, solo. You try to talk to anyone about 9/11 being an inside job, moon landing being fake, Gulf of Tonkin, you name it. You talk to people about it, oblivious, fucking have no idea. They don't know, and they're happy not to know. You try to teach them about it, and they don't want to know. There's an old Schultz and Alexander Solzhenitsyn quote. They came for so and so, and I did nothing. They came for so and so, and I did nothing. When they came for me, there was no one to help me. Now the QAnon people, there's a level of psychosis in this country, right? From the alien abduction people to the QAnon people to the nth degree. You can go down all the rabbit holes. There's a lot of psychosis, and trying to decipher what's true and not true, and that's a spiritual compass, in my opinion. You won't find that just through information. You have to have a spiritual journey to be able to siphon through a lot of this shit. And I look around at the world today, and 2024 election. Let's say Trump gets in. Okay, that's something that they stole the last election, but everyone thinks they're gonna vote in Trump again. Like, are you stupid? Like, they stole the last election and no one went to prison for it. And no one got in trouble for it. No one gives a fuck. What, you think you're gonna vote again? What, you think this time it's all gravy sauce? No, they're gonna have more dead people vote. They're gonna rig the system. Hey, bro, give me a fucking break. You're a joke. Should you vote? Sure. You should vote. If we get there and you should vote, sure. Because there was an Andrew Jackson, I think. Andrew Jackson, maybe. Where his election was stolen from him. And the next time, it was such an overwhelming turnout that they couldn't steal it. Maybe. But I haven't seen one fucking Biden sticker ever in my life. And I see a whole bunch of Trumpers. And somehow, oh, there's a quote that's like, if there's the ballot box. I don't remember it. Basically, if you make John F. Kennedy, if you make peaceful resolution, I'm half retarded and I'm high. if a peaceful revolution can't be found, violent revolution is inevitable, or some shit like that. We're in the middle of that violent shit show at the moment. Go to Chicago, tell me there's not a civil war happening. Go to Washington, D.C., tell me there's not a civil war happening. There's the haves and have-nots. And that brings me a topic to like people like Andrew Tate, who people think is like a good role model. It's like, yeah, Andrew Tate's a good role model to how to make money, I guess. Saying some good shit, you know, slapping people upside the head, telling them to be a little bitch. Okay, cool. But he ain't gonna be in no fucking trench line with you. You think he's gonna be in the trench line with you? Yeah, right. He's gonna be in his underground bunker, chilling with his brother, with strippers and Henny and cigars. Wow, these motherfuckers ain't gonna die in the streets with us. Yeah, right. So it's like, yeah, I respect you on that, you know, one aspect. It's like, cool, you know, teach me how to make some money, you know, give me some motivation when I'm working out, I guess. But like, you ain't a role model. You ain't someone to look up to, really. Like, you were an online pimp, bruh. It's like, and I've seen your videos where it's like, yeah, I'm building an underground bunker, and he ain't gonna be in no trench line with you. Now the thing is I probably have one homie in my circle who I would allow in my foxhole. Everyone else is either gonna run away or shoot me in the back of the head and try and save themselves. And you do little tests with these people, right? You do little tests with these people. Loan them $100. They don't pay you back. They have no interest in paying you back. It's not even on their fucking radar, obviously. Cool. You learned a valuable lesson not to have this person who you thought was your homie in the trench line with you, because if you're not willing to pay back $100, how can you trust him not to fucking run from bullet shell? Like, what? Do tests. And over time, I've had a lot of homies who think they're fucking want to be friends with me. And it's like, dude, you a fucking coward. The fuck you talking about? Obviously, we'll never be homies. There's one person in my life who I'd go in a trench line with. But when I think of America, you know, I think of our founding fathers, and you know, there's a lot of this. You know, our founding fathers were Freemasons, and you know, so on and so forth. And I've had conversations with dudes who maybe weren't the biggest fans of that concept. But you have to look at it like this. Your founding fathers were part of secret societies. Like the Green Dragon Inn, where the Tea Party happened, that was a Freemason lodge. Like, that was the secret society tavern. Green Dragon Tavern, or whatever the fuck it was. Your ancestors are pirates. Your ancestors are swashbucklers. Your ancestors are outlaws. Your ancestors are fucking real ass savages. When they came to the New World, only the criminals and the ones who wanted to escape, you know, persecution, and people who were running from something, and people who wanted to, you know, build something from nothing came here. A bunch of fucking savages came here. And the top echelon of those savages, you know, had little clubs. Call it Freemasonry, call it the Mystery Schools of Babylon. There's lots of different clubs. But there was an experiment that these men wanted to try and achieve in the human condition. Like, what? Man has always been ruled by popes, queens, tyrants, kings, emperors, bishops, sultans, you name it. There's always some asshole who's always ruled over humanity. And that's why they called this the Great Experiment. Does man deserve to be free, or does he deserve to be enslaved? No one really knew. Right? It's never been done before. So they got together and they put in all the systems of, you know, the individual being free. But then also they allowed it to be broad and vague enough where if they didn't deserve freedom, they could sell themselves back into slavery. They could go back to it. Like, if you're too stupid to be able to handle that responsibility, it's okay. Daddy Pimpin's gonna come in and he's gonna take good care of you. Or you can kill him and keep your freedom, because there's always some little guy who's gonna slither in and try to manipulate. Okay, so your forefathers didn't know whether or not we deserved freedom. They had the best intentions, in my opinion. Like, I think Benjamin Franklin came out of Congressional Congress and they asked, you know, hey Ben, what hath thou wrought? A republic if you can keep it. Do you deserve to be free? Or do you deserve a master over you? And I think that, you know, over time, we have accepted the master's hand, and some of us don't want that hand, right? We were born into this system. We never agreed to it. We woke up one day and realized, holy shit, what the fuck's happening? You know, through the internet and through, you know, I'm trying to do my little podcast, trying to speak some truth. Through the internet, people have woken up in the last 8 years, 7 years, however long it's been, 2006, or I'm sorry, 2016. There's been a lot of people who've joined in on, hey man, like, get your foot off my face. Like, I don't need a jackbooted thug on top of me. Like, I don't need that smoke. Do you think they're gonna get off of you? They have all the power in the world. They can kill you and your family and nobody will care. And you think waving your little sign or voting at the ballot box or anything like that is going to have any effect? No, it's not. You have to find your personal freedom. You need to be unencumbered by their debt. I see all these videos nowadays. It's like, get in debt. Get in debt. Debt is slavery. The fuck are you talking about? Get in debt. Oh, it's the way to build wealth nowadays. Is, you know, rich dad, poor dad. You know, I leverage my debt. Okay, yes, that is the system. But debt is slavery. So yes, you can do that, but you are then a slave to their system and you have no way out. No, you shouldn't do that. You need to be self-sufficient. You need to find purpose, meaning, and you need to find a line in the sand that if you cross this line, we all gonna die in here. And every man needs to find that for himself. And that's what makes that's what makes them so scared. That's what terrifies them. Not you voting, not you buying ammo or any. It's being willing to give your life at any given second for principles in which you will stand upon and die upon. That's what terrifies them. This has been a lighthearted topic. Sorry, I get a little heated when I start. If they're gonna kill you for one thing, it's this. This is what they'll kill you for, right? This is the shit that gets you ran off the fucking road and you're driving home from work. This is the shit that gets you stabbed with a little fucking cancer in your fucking arm one day randomly, or go get some coffee and you're, you know, whatever, and someone just slips a little something in your drink. This is the shit that gets you fucking murdered. So I get a little heated because it's like, I remember that visit from the Fed boys for literally just saying, hey man, you shouldn't arrest me, da 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 da. But we're gonna call that there. I didn't even really want to do a podcast. I'm trying to do 2 times a week. Fridays are a good day for me, and I'm thinking maybe Mondays and Fridays are gonna be the 2 I'm gonna try to do that, but it's been fun. Hopefully, you know, we bonded a little bit. We had a good time, couple laughs. Yeah, chunk the deuces. The 2 people who chatted, be the real ones. Real talk.